Good afternoon, LEC community. I'm Ivan with the LEC team. Today I'm joined with Paola Silva, who will be talking about our new series. Well, it's a different take on our series, Ask an Educator. Today we are talking with one of our storytellers who was part of this year's cohort for Expressión, the fourth cohort. So, Paola, welcome. How are you?
Hello, hello. Super grateful to be here. I am feeling much better, much alleviated.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just returned from a travel, so I'm feeling ready to get on the get go of things.
Okay. You've been traveling a lot. Where'd you go recently?
Mexico, San Miguel de Allende, Guanajuato, for a
Mhm.
month long trip.
Well, I hear it's beautiful.
It is really beautiful. Very a lot of history to it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes,
I
history in the
also,
making.
but I also hear it's very gentrified.
Very gentrified. That's why I say history in the
That's why you
making.
pause. Like,
Yep.
yes, yeah. I seen a lot of on TV, a lot of people that are not happy, how their life is being disrupted, about what's going
Yeah.
on with that, which is unfortunate. Beautiful, Mexico is such a beautiful country.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It definitely inspired conducting of interviews almost similarly to the way that Storytellers for Change has done that for us.
Mhm.
Just really inspired me to hear the stories of people in Mexico with such a hard time for the locals there.
Ya, ya. Entonces hablas español.
Sí, sí, claro.
¿Hablamos español o inglés? Tú decides.
Me siento más cómoda ahorita en inglés,
Ok.
pero me siento también muy cómoda listening to you speak Spanish. So
Ok.
totally up to
Los
you,
dos.
totally up to us. I feel like I swip and swap.
Yeah, yeah. And that's okay. That's who we are. Antes de comenzar, can you tell us a little bit about you? For me to know you and also for our community who's watching and will watch us. Who you are, where you come from, anything that you want to share.
Yeah, of course. Um, my name is Paola Silva, as you must know. um, hmm. I am an artist, a sculpture artist, um, using art to immerse into social practices with the community, bringing in the way that we live our lives into collaborative and engaging practices. Um, my family is from Chihuahua, Mexico. I am first generation. Um, yeah, I came here with my mama, soltera
Mhm.
y todo. Very fierce women in my family, mainly raised by only women. So super empowering to, yeah, be alive and grow out my luscious hair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I always wanted curly hair, so yes, I like it.
Then embrace, thank you.
Mhm. So you grew up in a house full of women then. Your mom, your grandma, those are the people who brought you yeah, since you were a kid.
Yeah, I actually only grew up with my mom and didn't get to meet
Mm, mhm.
her mother. Her mother died when she was about 9 years old. And I was thinking about her shortly before this live stream actually.
Yeah.
Thinking about like what she would say to my mom and us.
Mhm.
But yeah, four sisters. Um, three sisters. I'm the fourth. Yes.
Tell us, you're an educator, no?
Yes.
Art educator. So what inspired you to become an educator, or what inspired you to become an artist as well?
Mm. Mm. I feel like both of those go very hand in
Hmm.
hand. Um, hmm. I was sitting with this question for a long time before we got started.
Yeah.
And it really just came to me when I stepped into my first clay studio, and I was prompted by those that work at Epic Arts on Strawberry Hill, KCK Wyandotte. Uh,
Okay.
yes, I love them. They will forever be my family and first community to really hold me in my rawest form. Um, and it wasn't until I like started teaching um, children that I started to realize that there was a part of my like inner child that was missing something and was like missing um, a community and kind of like yearned to have that as a child. Um, and yeah, like the public school system growing up was always really back to back for me. I graduated with 13 schools under my belt, so that was a lot for the developing brain. Um, and I just always moved really fast and didn't realize that I wanted more consistency and more emotional support by my surrounding communities. So when I got into the studio space and could be in a position to guide others, just kind of made me realize um, that there are some things that um, just come naturally
Mhm.
to like our community and some things that we have to seek out for.
When you, what I have two follow-ups. One is when you talk about your rawest form, what does that mean when you're in the studio? And then the other one, what is your medium that you use to create art? So whichever you want to take. I know one is easier to answer probably.
Yeah. I feel like that's a really good question. I feel like when I say my rawest form, I see like my most unfiltered self, unfiltered creative self that like embodies the things that make me me.
Mhm.
Um, and I feel like clay does a lot of that. My main medium is ceramics. I've been working with ceramics for a long time, and I feel like because it's so malleable and so flexible and like ever changing, um, it like allows for me to express myself in a complex way.
Mhm. Ah, ceramics. I admire people that can do ceramics. When I'm working on it, I just go like I don't have the patience like to build something.
Oh,
But
I
yeah,
feel that. Sometimes
yeah.
it's just like I just want to squeeze the clay, like, and I think
Mhm.
that that's what I find to be the most engaging outlet to just like use it as a like sensory
Mhm.
experience.
Yes,
Yeah.
yep, yep. Do you see a relation with, because you speak as clay as malleable and having an opportunity to create something, do you relate that when you have students in the art room working through art, um, to see them develop? How do you bring art and identity into the classroom?
Mm, mm. I feel like the kids that I've worked with have found like their own way to bring their characters and their ideas and like belief systems into their art projects. Um, I feel like by like facilitating a project that is open ended enough to allow for the student to kind of like fit in their um, ideas and their imagination and their like their own like language for it. um, I feel like that's when I learned the most. Really just like being a listener to their body language, to their
Mhm.
verbal language, to the way that they relate to one another and how their identity is forming through the social and emotional engagement that they're making, being in community next to each other. So um, it's really like something that each of us bring into the studio, um, something that we're bringing from the outside world that we remembered to the point where we're touching this clay, and then we're like, oh, there's this thing that really struck me in my house. There's this thing that really got my attention as we were in the car. Like, let's talk about it. Yeah, so there's
Yeah.
always something to bring back to the studio.
So yes, and you speak to art is more than just colors and papers. There's a lot that goes on when students are working on a project. A lot of decisions are being made.
Yes, yeah, a
Mhm.
lot of decisions are being made. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So 13 schools in your life as a student. Did you ever see yourself represented? And if you did or did not, what does representation in the classroom means to you?
Mm, mm, interesting. Hmm. I feel that um, whenever I entered a new school, as I got older, I started to believe that we weren't going to stay there long enough for me to get to know somebody or for me to get comfortable with another person. So I grew some distance and isolated myself a little bit. Um, but I did a lot of people watching. Did a lot of people watching. And I guess I'm doing more people watching through my memories now as I'm older and I'm remembering, oh, there's that one kid that said this to me, or
Yeah.
that one teacher that really stuck out to me and like gave me hope. Um, and I hadn't had a Latinx teacher until I moved to my sixth school in fifth grade when I went to California in Orange County, Leona Jackson, and had a a I believe he was Salvadoreño, and um, it wasn't necessarily that he was um, Salvadoreño that struck me. It was that he was a man,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's
I
good.
I had always seen like all these like authority figures and teacher figures um, like in my life as women. So it was so empowering to see this um, man like embrace this like protector and nourishing energy as an educator. And I remember feeling so much trust for the classroom and for him, um, and also just like being able to speak Spanish to him was like, whoa, like there are there are people that are like me and that are like safe people and protectors in this world. And I grew up seeing a lot of like Latinos in my community. A lot of the schools that I went to were predominantly Black and Latino people. Um, and I just remember feeling so like held by them, feeling like family. So it was it was a shift whenever I met Mr. Saldaña. His name is Mr. Saldaña. Yes, yeah,
You remember, see, that is the power of representation, whether it be identity or now in this case, it was a
yes,
male teacher. Uh, that yeah, this is what we need more representation in both more Latinos and also more males in the classroom. Um,
yes, certainly, yeah. And it felt so like it felt so like um, hmm, I just felt very like reaffirmed, very like affirmed that like there is um, there is such a beautiful, like, heartfelt connection that can be made with
Yeah.
teachers whenever um, diversity starts to enter the classroom.
Hopefully, Miss Aldana is listening, or yes, to see and to know that he made an impact. My first Latina, it was teacher was Miss Gomez. She came from
Mm.
Arizona, and I haven't connected with her ever since she left the district. I was in eighth grade, but yeah, she made a mark. Also on
Yes.
on my journey in education, she will always say, "Mijo, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be all right." So, and so
Oh,
far I've been all right. So she was right.
yes. I love that. I love that. Yeah, that's beautiful. They really do leave their print.
Mhm,
I remember specifically Mr. Saldaña's really deep, thick, loud voice. Like, he
mhm,
let himself known that he was present in the room, and that, like, there's such a thing as, like, sacred discipline. And so it was really impactful.
mhm, mhm. That's good. Yeah, we gotta let ourselves know. And looking back, let me jump to a little bit of expression. Looking back on how of your experience in the Expression Storytelling Fellowship, because you were a participant this year, how did it shape you and how you share your story today?
Mm. I feel a lot more confident. Yeah, I feel a lot more confident in being able to represent myself, um, and represent my family, and what we symbolize for our community. And um, I feel like it's really influenced the way that I navigate in my relationships with people, and the connections that I make with people that are new to me, and that I'm still getting to know. Um, and that feels really beautiful, because the fellowship was such a like, offered such a courageous space for people to be brave and vulnerable with their emotions. And it was so impactful to hear people share their own stories and see their
Mhm,
process. Um, and it transformed the way that I, like, hold space for other people in my everyday life.
mhm. Okay, I cannot say vulnerabilidad. I cannot say it in English, but in storytelling, it involves vulnerability.
Yeah,
Vul
vulnerability. You got that.
vulnerability. Yes, thank you. Storytelling involves vulnerability. I tried.
You
How
did
do you
it.
how do you decide what parts to share with others? Because it's something sacred, like you mentioned. How do you decide what to share, when to share, or what to keep to yourself?
Mm, mm, mm. I feel that each person on the receiving end of my story, on the other end of my story, is um, kind of like another door to an opportunity to understand my narrative, um, and to hear and hold myself in that. So I feel that trust and faith in my connection with another, um, whenever it comes to sharing my story, I feel that that is something that drives what parts do I share with this person, what parts do I share with the world. And there are some, like, darker moments than not that I feel that I've been learning to, like, give voice to in other ways that can be um, like, in solitude or in intimate circles. And I feel that, yeah, it's ever shifting. I feel that we will um, continue to our openness will like continue to move and expand. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's to say whenever we like enter a connection that my story shifts and changes through dialogue.
Some as we learn, some stories are just for us. Some stories are
Yes,
not to share with the world until we are ready.
absolutely.
We also talked about the story of me, the story of us. I How has sharing your story with the greater community uh, changed the way you look at the world?
Mm, I feel that it fosters a space to relate with somebody, to say my story is not of one but of many, and to say that I see myself in somebody else, um, and I see somebody else in me when we share our stories and where we come from. Um,
Yeah. I have a speed round because we're almost at time. So
let's do
we've been talking for about 20 some minutes. First word that comes to mind when you hear storytelling.
when I hear storytelling, mm, a timeline.
Okay. A book, movie, or song that inspires your storytelling.
When Love Comes by Danica. I don't remember her last name. Dannika. Um, Song that I learned recently on the guitar.
Oh, you also play the guitar?
I do, yes.
Oh wow. Yeah, I tried,
Mhm.
but I failed. I can't. It's too much going on.
So much
Uh
dexterity.
yeah, and then the music and then the singing, so it's a lot.
I love it.
Uh One storyteller, past or present, you love to share a meal with. Storyteller or a power person.
My grandma's.
Mhm.
Marta
Yes.
Cello. I didn't get to meet my mom's mom, like I said earlier, but I would love to hear where she comes from and what influenced her to um, raise my mom the way she did
Mhm.
up to when she was 9.
This is your grandma Marta or your grandma Chelo?
My grandma Marta, mi
Uh-huh.
abuelita Marta, sí.
Mhm.
Mhm.
When you're writing, coffee, tea, or something else, or when you're making art.
Ooh. Mm. When I'm writing, it depends on what I'm writing. When I'm writing something that requires much more brain power, coffee. When I'm writing something that is from the heart, tea. And when I'm writing just to like process, I just need to breathe.
Yeah, yeah, yep. And
Yes.
then one word you hope people use to describe your stories.
Mm. Mm. I feel that I would leave that up to them, and I would just love to know. Mhm.
Okay. Okay, that was the speed round.
Beautiful.
Bef- Hey, that was great. Before we get going, do you have any words of inspiration for those who are thinking of sharing their story but are hesitant? Sometimes we think that our story is not big enough. But do you have any
Mm.
words of encouragement, whether they be young people or even more mature people? What is something that you tell them to inspire to share with the world?
Mm. Mm. A practice that I've found to be of great service to me was um, telling your story like if you were telling a younger version of you
Mm.
when you lived that story, and witnessing that response of that version and what they have to say, and what they're asking for from you, um, what they want to be given to them, and what their
Mhm.
needs are, and just like holding it and sitting with it and like saying I love you, like younger
Mhm.
version, or I love my story, and like I'm here for my story, and like this is mine and like no one else's, and I'm still living and making my story.
Yeah,
um
yeah.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing space and holding this half hour with me to get to know you a little bit better and to learn from your experiences.
Thank
Uh,
you aplenty for
yes.
inviting us into this space, like such
Mhm.
a warm welcome and warm invitation into like having such heartfelt experiences of reflection and expression. So this
Yeah.
is like you're doing such beautiful work. So grateful to be here.
Thank you. And then we'll catch you later. And then LEC community will be highlighting different storytellers that were part of this last cohort. So don't miss next Thursday. We'll have more of our expression storytellers. Thank you, Paola. We'll see you soon.
Muchas
Bye-bye.
gracias.
Adios. Bye.
Adiós.